Hello again, back with some more facts of Valiant Thor, or should I say, Frank Ernest Strange's. Okay? Now, I want to make some clarifications about some things, alright guys? You know how he got in his book that the group photo was taken in 1958? And so now everybody says 1958. Well, guess what, guys? That's a lie. And I think I told you guys already that did not happen in 1958. And the reason for that is, let's get even more closer to the truth, shall we? Because in December, okay, of 1957, I think about December 18, I think it was, December 18, 1957, a man named Adam Abramowski, he purchased Howard Menger's home, okay, in December of 1957. So that tells you right there, Howard already sold his home in 1957. So there is no way possible that they did those photos in 1958. Okay, because that's a new owner now. So why would he allow people to be in his property if he's a new owner, right? Okay, so with that in mind, let's continue. So, as you guys saw when I kept showing you guys that Howard Menger was with his wife Rose at the time in that conference. So he was still married to her. That was 1957. So the only time that you can say that that actually took place was between 1956, which I believe it was 56, or 57. The reason I say 57 is because, of course, Frank uses the year that supposedly Valiant Thor arrived to Earth, right? So we can either say 56 or 57, but again, I say 56 because there's a newspaper that he was holding, okay? And in that newspaper that he was holding, if you guys like blow up the picture, you can see that there's a 10-cent emblem on the upper right corner. And then you can see, you can make out some words like the letters U and N, okay? And then up on the top on another photograph of the same setting, you see that he happened to move the paper a little over. So now you can see that it was a Sunday paper because on the top it seems there's a sun, day, and then news. And that's how I got that it was a Sunday newspaper. Now, you know, if you guys look, I would show you, but I'm not trying to go through all that right now, guys. But you can do this yourselves, okay? Trust me when I tell you this. I'm not deceiving you guys, all right? You can see in the photos where he bends the he has the newspaper, sorry, the newspaper folded, and you can see the numbers 33/7. Okay, that was a score. Guess what score that was, guys? And you can look this up yourselves. It was Washington Redskins 33, New York Giants 7. Okay, that was the New York, is a New York paper, by the way. It's called the Sunday News. It's a New York paper. It's a picture newspaper. You guys can look it up if you want, man. I'm just telling you the truth. So this is the thing that brings this story down completely. When I showed you the picture of Frank, he's the same, one and the same guy. He just wanted people to believe that he's not Valiant Thor, obviously. You know, so, you know, how he can go around and lying. You know, this is not the only thing he lied about, guys. All right? He lied about plenty of things.
Changed my life forever. As a minister, as a pastor,
let's listen for a second.
And full-time evangelist, I would go from church to church and I would show pictures of UFOs on the board. These were black and white pictures.
You just heard what he said, right? He would show UFOs, black and white pictures. Now, to let you know that the pictures he were holding up all those times were false. That's right, you heard me. Those photographs of UFOs were not even real. He was even talking about how Billy Meyer was real and all this stuff. Come on, man. Or maybe he didn't know at that time that Billy Meyer was a hoaxer. Let's continue.
Very few in color. And I've been able to explain to the audience thus and so and
Thus and so.
Time, date, place, witnesses, names. Receive a telephone call at my home in Irvington, New Jersey. A call from a former Air Force photographer by the name of August C. Roberts. And Augie gets on the phone.
Now, real quick before I continue to play, you know, Frank's little lie about Valiant Thor, of course, himself, is that you heard when he said he lived in Irvington, New Jersey, right? And I made this description to all of you guys before. If he lived in Irvington, New Jersey, right, and he'd been into the UFO alien phenomenon since 1945, please tell me, why is it that this man did not go to Howard Menger, right, who was the local celebrity in New Jersey, mind you? He's 40 miles away. And it was a UFO alien conference, which, of course, he loved that stuff. So why he didn't attend? Huh? Yeah, you guys out there say that he didn't attend, but I just showed you that he did. Because that young gentleman who everyone known as Valiant Thor is himself. So, with that in mind, let's continue. And also, when you heard him say August C. Roberts, all right? August C. Roberts was his friend. Okay? And only people that call him Augie are his friends. All right? Other than that, you know, if you're not his friend, you're calling him August or Mr. Roberts. Obviously, right? So, I'm just trying to show y'all, and you know, that's why I told you guys in videos, in all my videos, I'm going to continue to bring in this story down little by little. I'm not a big YouTube professional, you know, camera guy, okay? So, for those of you who have a problem with me moving around, oh, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? I'm still learning this YouTube stuff. Okay? This is new to me, but I figured since I looked into the story for these many years, why not just throw it out now, right? I'm not getting anything from it. I'm not asking you for anything. I'm not asking you, hey, I wrote a book. Hey, come buy my book. Hey, come to my lectures. I'm not doing lectures. This is my lecture right here for free on YouTube.
And he said, Dr. Frank, guess what? I said, what? He said, I met a man from another planet. I said,
what are you smoking?
He said, do you want to hear this or not? I said, yes, please, please. Where did you see him? He said, not only did I see him, I took his picture.
Now check this out, right? That's another thing that didn't make sense. So you can easily see that he used a method, all right? A suggestive method. It's almost like a magician, in other words, a sleight of hand, where obviously they do tricks right in front of you, but you didn't realize it. That's what he just did. Okay? Because he's saying, okay, August C. Roberts, you know, hey, not only did I took his picture. Now, if you were talking about more than one person, right? Because he said Val Thor, Jill, and Dawn. So why didn't he say, when he mentioned that Augie C. Roberts said to him, I took his picture. He should have said, I took their picture. Now y'all get what I'm saying here? Okay? So if these people were so important, he took their picture. Not just one guy's picture, their picture. Let's continue.
I said, fine. What makes you think he's from outer space? And where was this? He said at the lawn UFO lecture at the home of Howard Menger in Highbridge, New Jersey.
Now you see? I'm surprised that he wasn't there, but yet he went to Giant Rock, I think, a couple times. So, I don't know, man, guys. You don't have to believe it, but he did go to Giant Rock, George Van Tassel's huge conference, of course. That was the biggest UFO alien conference in America, you know, so that's where they would go, all these so-called alien Venusians and Martians and all this other stupid shit that people say they are. Hey, I'm not from Earth, but yet they can't provide no evidence whatsoever that they are not what they claim.
I said, that's interesting. What makes you think he's from outer space? Well, he said, Frank, when he looked at me, I got the distinct impression he could look straight through me. I said, my father does.
Now, you see what he also uses is he used forms of jokes, you know, like to get the, you know, the crowd into it and, you know, ease them up a little bit, you know. So when he said, oh, I get the sense that someone could see through me. How do you see someone look at you and look through you? Really? Come on, guys. Just because you have the feeling that someone can look through you, how the hell did August C. Roberts know that those people he took pictures of were not from Earth? He could have took pictures of anyone else. The truth is, like I told y'all, he was taking pictures of Frank right here. Frank. Okay? August C. Roberts took pictures of him. Obviously. So this man knew what he was doing at that time. You know what I'm saying? It was like pre-planned in a way. You know? So, like I kept telling you guys that August C. Roberts worked for Gray Barker, the biggest hoaxer, you know, of the 50s. You know, and he not only liked to debunk, you know, those people at the time. He liked to play, make fun of them, you know. But he knew how to go about it, you know, because he was like, wait a minute. If I can benefit by making money from this, let me just help these people with it, you know. Even if he doesn't believe. So he didn't care. And that's what I'm trying to show you guys. Okay, it wasn't just Frank. I mean, although that's his story, yes, his fairy tale. Because he is the main character, Valiant Thor. But don't believe me, though.
That to me now. He said, come on, now, you want to hear this? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead. What else? He said, well, the man could speak every known language and dialect on the face of the earth. He said there were people at that convention from foreign countries, and he could speak to them, including to some people from Africa. He spoke in their dialect. I said, well, that's interesting. I said, what else? He said the guy had no fingerprints. Oh, that interested me as a former special.
Now, let me tell you guys briefly, right, that when he said August C. Roberts said that he knew many languages and stuff. Now, listen. If you met an extraterrestrial, guys, I'm sure any smart person out there would not just think about how many languages can you speak. On Earth, people speak many languages too, okay? That's not something that we're concerned about, whether this being can speak many languages. We want to know more, you know what I'm saying? We want to see their technology. We want to know about their origin. We want to know about, are they connected to God? You know, we want to know about, are we connected to them? You know? Not these stupid questions about, you know, oh, let me see your fingers and your toes and your IQ is 1200 and you can speak thousands of languages. I don't care about none of that shit. I don't. Okay? And as far as living in the interior of a planet, that doesn't make no goddamn sense. All right? Why would they want to live in the interior when they could be on the surface? You're talking about an advanced civilization. Not no fucking weaklings. An advanced civilization that have the ability, if you want to believe out there that this is how it works, if they have the ability to create things that we can't, so why can't they live on the surface? Oh, because people on Earth say, oh, well, there's dangerous gases on Venus. Who cares if there's dangerous gases? For us, maybe, but not for them. These people, if they're supposed to be advanced, clearly they're not on our level. They're way beyond our level. So who are we to say, oh, because there's so much gases in Venus, they can't be on the surface? But you see, that's where Frank messed up. Because he said they live in the interior. But then Howard Menger said they live on the surface. Because according to him, he went to Venus and they showed him domes in the surface. It wasn't in the interior. So, see? Come on, guys, man. This is bullcrap. You know, I'm sick of this shit. And
investigator, I know the science of fingerprinting. Everybody has fingerprints. He said his tips of his fingers were as bald as a boiled egg. I said, is that right? That interested me. I said, all right, I'll take the pictures. I'll put them on the board at the universities, colleges, and churches that I address on the subject. and I'll say this is what Augie Roberts said, which I did.
Now, another thing I want to say is that not everyone believed Frank, okay? And remember, he didn't start telling about this story until the 60s, if you guys realize that, okay? I told y'all that he came out, what, 1960? Actually, that's when it all began, because he claims he met Valiant Thor in 1960. So, well, really, 1959. So let me correct that real quick. But anyways, he wrote a book in 1960, then another one in 1967, which he published himself, all right, to tell a story, a fairy tale about a man, that be himself, from Venus. Okay? That's all it was, guys. That's all it was. You got people to this day that are trying to say that the story is true, because you got Andrew Bird, who claims that he was the Admiral Byrd's nephew. That's a lie. He was a liar. He wasn't related to him at all. I looked into that too. There's people surrounding all they're doing is lying. They're supporting each other. Okay? Oh no, Frank's my friend, so I'm not gonna do him wrong. Okay? Even James Moseley, like I said, towards the end, even though that, you know, supposedly Craig Campobasso is the only one I heard saying that Jim Moseley said he was there, but yet not once do I seen any lectures, not any of his Saucerian, because of course he bought it from his friend Gray Barker. You don't see him mentioning anything about him being there. In fact, he was actually talking about Frank when he said, oh, Frank's doing it again, talking about his Venusian and all this shit and all that. You guys don't believe me? I can actually show you that. You know, maybe not right now, but I can show you that also. You know, so you guys can see I'm not making this stuff up. All you guys have to do is research, and you will find what you're looking for. You know, the key has always been there in front of you all along. It's Frank. While people are looking around the story, trying to find answers, you have to go to Frank's past. You have to go to all those people in the 50s surrounding him, because that's where the story begins. And that's why I investigated the story, especially when he said he was at Howard Menger's home. Okay? And then I seen everything I needed to see about Howard Menger, and he not once, not in any interviews, not in any book that he wrote, does he mention anyone named Valiant Thor, nor Jill, nor Thania, nor Don Thor, any of those names. Frank made all this up, just like others before him. Okay? And I'm going to keep telling you guys, he did. He made it up. Why couldn't he provide photographs of Valiant Thor afterwards? Oh, no, because his wife Julie told me that Valiant Thor wouldn't allow him to take photographs, right? Yeah, but then August C. Roberts, I guess, was the luckiest man on earth to get photographs of these people in the 1950s. But we couldn't see what he looks like today. Oh, no, because he won't allow you to take photographs. Come on, guys. You know, I know sometimes you guys are like, you know, well, this guy's really in on his story. Yeah, I am really in on this story, because it's clear as day. It was Frank all along. There is no guy from Venus called Valiant Thor. It's himself. I showed y'all the photographs. All right? I showed y'all. It's him. It always been him. I haven't never been anyone else. You know? And the other photographs, of course, like I told you, is the Jesse Womble, who they used his head for that. Because, of course, Augie Roberts, Mr. Photographer there, he knew what he was doing. He wasn't stupid. He wasn't stupid, guys. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to show you guys something. A lovely thing here. There's craziness. It's just plain craziness. There we go again. That's my favorite picture. Valiant Thor, how the hell are you? What's up, Valiant Thor? Valiant Thor, can you tell me how to heal myself? Can you tell me about Venus? Can you tell me about a lot of things? I didn't think so. I didn't think so. So, hey, it's my friend again. That's Frank Ernest Strange's, guys. So those of you who haven't seen this photo, there you go. That's him. Same guy I just showed you, who he calls Valiant Thor. It's him. Always been him. His original hair color was brown. Told you. But no, you guys don't believe me. You didn't believe me though, right? Yeah, there you go. So you can keep on and saying that that's not the same guy. They used two guys. Frank was the main guy that they used. Of course, because he was actually there, physically there. And Jesse Womble, okay? They only used his head for Frank's body in one of the photographs. Just so you guys don't see that he's one and the same guy, of course. But Womble died in 1945, so, you know. But then, of course, people are going to be like, well, if he died in 45, how would Mengers placed it? You know, the conference didn't take place in the 1950s. No shit, I know. I already told y'all, August Roberts manipulates photographs. That's what he do. I showed you guys how he does it. All right? So all I would say is, comment down below. Give me your opinions. Hey, if you like it, like it. If you don't, tell me. But these are all facts right here. Valiant Thor is not real. So, for all of you who believe this throughout all these years, here you go. These are the facts. In 2017, I debunked this story. So then, see you guys later.